Hey guys, it's Brian and Kai. Today we're building a bed for the truck. We've got a new camper top here, and the bed situation didn't work out in the last camp out too well. So we're going to make a wooden bed for the bottom here out of plywood and 2x6s, and we want to be able to put our little motorcycle in the back, which is it's a little Grom, Honda Grom. So the idea is to break the bed down when we're done and put it to the side and park our motorcycle in there. So that's what we're doing now. And since there's not much room in here, we want to have an extension out onto the tailgate for the bed as well. So we have a little extra room for our feet to hang out where the tailgate is. So we're going to have to put something that flips out or folds out where the tailgate area is. So it's all basically 2x6 and plywood, build with simple tools, because I haven't been here long enough to acquire a bunch of carpentry tools. So I guess we're going to be using just a regular skill saw, drill, and chisel and hammer and some basic stuff, screwing it together and notching it. So let's see what we got. Okay. Like that. Once I get to about here, you're going to have to come down here and hold it, okay, honey? Guys, so we're going to cut the corner off on this side. There's a knot here. If you can see it, you don't really want to cut the knots. You can help it. It makes the work pretty rough. And so we switch sides over to here. And in this case here, I'm just going to use the cuts that I've already made to just use that to line everything up. If you continually do this, if you're building a lot of these, you know, like 10 of these, it'll get out of a measurement after a while. But for a simple bed, we're just going to do it this way. So that's that line there, and this is the length here. It's nice to have a new blade, new saw. Alright guys, quick little tip. You can see that this wood is very warped down here. This is sticking out, this is sticking in. Sometimes what I do, I put these to the side and I'll try to chop them up into smaller pieces. So this would be a good piece to make the legs out of, so you don't have a big warped up bed frame. Try to buy good wood when you go to Home Depot if you're in America. Here, I don't know the language very well, and we're limited to what we can get in the town we're in. It's a small town. So try to pick your wood out, you know, carefully. All right, guys, on this wood, it's really straight, left to right. Here, the top has a curve this way. They call that the crown of the wood. So when you're building, you want that crown up, because over time, the wood will sag anyway. So if you start the other way around with the crown at the bottom and the wood sags, it looks twice as sagged as if it would been installed with the crown up. So we're actually going to write up on this wood, the word up, and then we're going to put it in that way. Here, Kai is chiseling out the notches. Here we added some legs to this to bring it up to the height of the wheel well, so the plywood will go over the wheel well a little bit. This one's not added yet, so you can see there's just a few screws over there. I countersunk them a little bit. So far, so good. We've got a little visitor that doesn't seem to mind all the hammering and sawing. Here in Thailand, that's called a meow meow. Pretty original name. It's a meow meow. All right, guys, we're doing a little cleanup in the middle of it because things are getting a little too messy. But anyways, Buenos noches, because we have some noches here. So anyway, we wanted it to come apart. That's how we're going to do it. We're going to make the rear ones now. We just didn't want to notch everything and lose control of the project of what went where. We didn't label things, you know, each notch, each piece of wood, you know, as in 1, 2, and 3, front to back, and left to right, and all of that kind of stuff, just to keep it organized. Some of our wood was absolute junk, just about firewood. I don't know if you can see that wood. It's pretty wavy. Maybe good for little pieces and parts, but not too much. So that's where we're at. We're gonna knock out some more notches. Making some more headway on our notches. All right, this is where we're at so far. We're gonna call it a night tonight. It's getting a little bit late around here. But anyway, we've designed these legs here to drop down. You open the tailgate, you can drop these down because it's a very short bed and our legs hang out. So we want the plywood to come out to here. So that's why we've added that pivot point in the bolt to here. So that's how it's done. Tomorrow we're going to put another notch here and one more piece of wood across the rear to keep these steady and to give the plywood some more support when getting into the bed. All right, here we go. We're bolting the fold-up section back on. We've notched it for a little support in the rear so the legs don't flop to the left and the right. She's going to go ahead and put the nut on this contraption here. We wanted to have some locking nuts, but since there's a language barrier here, I'm lucky I have any. It's tough to work through that. So these are going to go under here for a little extra support later in the middle. I don't want to really put a lot of tension on the joints that we made here. That's where they go, and we'll make a few feet for the back too, so that way it don't angle downwards. So we're getting there. How's the frame looking? You like it?
Yes, I like.
Let's see what we got here. There it is. All right, so far, that's where we're at. I think the frame's about done. We're going to start working on the plywood top of it. We did add these supports here in the center, and up here where the head is, we didn't, the head of the bed, I guess you could say, we didn't add a support there because that's only, you know, for your heads to go. So that's about it. We do know that we're gonna have to take this center beam out to fold it, because I made it in a way that center beam helps support the two legs here when they're folded down. Stiffens it up a little bit. So if you don't want that, you can just, if you build one of these, you can move number 2 forward a little bit. You could actually, if you had a jigsaw, you can round these off too, so to fold up that way. So we made a big mess of the shop here, and we're gonna test fit this thing one last time. I didn't mention it, but we've been putting pieces together, fitting it, putting pieces together and fitting it as we go, so that way it has a really nice custom fit. This is the frame setting in the back of the truck here. We did have to take number 2 out to put the frame in, because we made it pretty close tolerances here and over here. There's actually a connector there, I don't know if you can see it, where we could zip tie this in or tie it in or use some tie down straps if we really wanted it tight, but I don't think it's going to go too far anyway. and I tried to make this stick out here as far as I could. Maybe later, if I can get a small piece of something, I'll go from here to here, a little bit of plywood or something, so our netting can go over that. We have some netting coming because, once again, the tailgate and the overhead door is going to have to be left open so we can sleep in this contraption. So anyway, this is where we're at right now. We're going to take a break here, and then we're going to start cutting the plywood. Okay, so I added these little stops in a minute. You can see what they're for. There's one there too. What happened was the end wood, the last piece of wood here, the end would slide off. Now you can see when these lock down in there, now it can't be pulled backwards. And we also put in a couple small locks here and on this side as well. So they keep both pieces of wood from going left to right here. So everything, when you're sleeping, will stay in place now. And all the plywood won't shift around. We did leave a little gap in there, as you can see, so we can easily put it in and out. I mean, you could make it, if you're making this, you can make it as tight as you want, but I did like a little bit of gap in there. So there we go. Okay, as you can see, it's pretty solid, lots of room. Lay down. See here, you could have even made it shorter if you want to, but she's kind of short anyway, so it's pretty nice for anybody that's tall. All right, guys, I took it apart, show you how it's going to be stored. Put the bike on top of all this probably. If we needed more room, we could put the frame probably in the back seat here. I think it would fit, I'm not sure. But this should give us room to put the bike on top of the plywood. We also tried to stand it up. That might even work as well. So that's where we're at. That's how she stores. If you want to store it in your shop or at home, it stores nice and small as well. So hopefully that helped everybody out to be able to make a fairly easy, cool bed for the back of your pickup truck. Here's how it goes together. You've got a left and a right. They're labeled. Here it is. Somebody's happy. She's got a comfortable bed instead of sleeping on the bed liner. It's all in. All right, guys, this is a net that we ordered off of TikTok, and that way we can keep the back tailgates open and not have mosquitoes flood in on us. So we've got this net here, and it attaches underneath here. Seems to like it's gonna work out pretty well. She's got some netting for the windows, the side windows too, right there. So we're actually gonna bring this on a test run camping here shortly, and we'll make a little bit more video about it. Put a link below so you can figure out where to get it. Anyway, like and subscribe.